Media Network's feature presentation. All rights reserved.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact.
Welcome to Vital Signs. Why are we here? Because we are bringing leading edge technology and applications for us to really take agency and control over our greatest asset, our health. I am really excited to be here today. I have some very special guests, but before we break into our topic of the day, remember that nothing on here can be construed as medical advice. Before you integrate anything, make sure that you consult with your practitioners. Everything on this show is for educational purposes only so that you can be aware of what's happening, what is new, and what you can do to advocate for yourselves. Today I'm here with Dr. Cody and Valerie. They are with Imaginostics, and they have developed a leading edge imagery and a safer contrast for vascular imaging. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, thanks. Good to be here.
So talk to me a little bit about the technology that you've developed, because some of it is leveraging existing technology, and you've really kind of moved us forward with some breakthrough technology that's blowing everyone away in the industry.
Yeah, that's right. So the technology that we've developed is a technology that works on any MRI scanner. So it can really integrate quite easily into any hospital system. It's going to be a software that changes how that device operates. And so the real innovation is in quantum physics, and that's just, the innovation comes through as a software. And then the other part of it is that we use an iron supplement for contrast. So really, I think the way you can think about it today is, there's really two doors for medical imaging with MRI that you can walk through. So door number one is a non-contrast scan. This is going to be safe for you. There's going to be absolutely no danger to you. Let's call that a 1x detail image of your body with an MRI scan. Door number two is going to be a contrast enhanced scan. It's going to be a 10x detail over door number one. Now you're going to have a contrast agent injected into your bloodstream, but it's toxic. So you're going to have a heavy metal, gadolinium, injected into your body to enhance the vascular compartment. You're going to get that 10x detail. You're going to have that toxicity, though. And our technology is a door number three. So it's going to be a 100x detail over a door number one, so a no contrast image, or a 10x detail of a door number two, or a gadolinium image. And so it's much better. Radiologists will judge it as 10x better over that gadolinium image. And it's with a safe iron supplement for contrast.
So talk to me a little bit about what does this mean? Because you said it's like 100x better in resolution, if you will. So when the radiologist is reading the scan, or when the physicians are reviewing the scan, what does this mean as far as earlier detection, improved diagnoses, improved treatment planning as we move forward?
Yeah, so it's not going to be necessarily 100x better in resolution. It is going to be better in resolution. We're even going to be able to image inside and around, metallic vascular implants. We can image around stainless steel. We can image around, so we have a lot of advantages. These are not our images that are popping up on the screen. I'm not sure what those are, but the real advantage that we're going to have here is that the level of detail is going to be much greater. The resolution might be better. And the other aspect is that now at each pixel inside the image, instead of having a meaningless intensity value, It's actually a physiological measurement. And so we're delivering new information about your body's physiology to your physician or clinician so that they can have a more informed decision about your health.
And so as we move forward with this more informed decision about our health, and you've already kind of talked to us about door number 2, the contrast that is a heavy metal and it's toxic to our body. Are there any contraindications or challenges with your contrast agent that you're using? Talk to us a little bit about the safety behind that and the considerations, and how we as informed consumers can advocate for ourselves for a safer option.
Yeah, that's right. So in 2018, actually, the FDA put a black box label on gadolinium agents. And so what they found out was when you get this gadolinium agent, it's going to accumulate in your brain. It's going to accumulate in your bones and tissue. And it's going to accumulate in an additive way. So if you get another scan, you're going to see it accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. The agent that we're using is called baramoxetol. It's been around for so long, it's now generically available. And it's an intravenous iron supplement.
And so as a patient, talk to me about, I'm a patient, I have just been told by my doctor that I need a contrast MRI for diagnostic purposes. How do I have that conversation and say, listen, I'm really not comfortable with the heavy metal and the accumulation of what's out there. I know that there's these other options. Like, how do we broach that topic? Because traditionally, it's very hard for us as patients to communicate with our physicians. And I get these questions all the time. Well, how do I bring this up? What does that look like? So talk to our audience about when they say that, when they're told, hey, I need this contrast scan, how can they bring up the conversation and explore utilizing your safer option?
So I'm going to speak prospectively, because we're still working on how go-to-market to be authorized to be on the market, right? It's a very innovative technology. We change the way that existing MRI machines acquire the signal. So we have to go through an FDA clearance process, FDA approval for the contrast agent. But let's say we were on the market. I think to have an open discussion with your doctor, I think you should always be able to bring up your concern to your doctors. If your doctor is not listening to you, it's your health. That's your first priority. I think, just you're in control, like choose the right type of medical care support for your health. I'm going to say, stay informed, sign up for our newsletter on our website. Because, we want to send updates. We actually started to have videos as well to explain the value of how technology, all its medical applications. We actually looking for people who are interested in helping us inform their network, their family, their friends, whether it's like reposting on TikTok or on Instagram, our videos. We actually looking to build our support, and we actually need you patients to know about us and spread the word. I'll say, word of mouth is, I think, very powerful. And then, something I wanted to add to the technology description is that for the first time, what we are interested in is the black and white images, because the value of our proposition is more than visual inspection. It's inside the data that we bring into market, which is inside the black and white images. And so for the first time, it's like if we were seeing information that is normally invisible, like if you were putting glasses and for the first time you can see colors or you can see new information. So this is a really breakthrough technology based on quantum physics. And we are bringing quantitative information on the vasculature physiology anywhere in the body. And this is associated to the early detection of a lot of disease in neurology, in cardiology, in nephrology, in rare diseases. So please stay tuned.
Yeah, and I would just add to that, when gadolinium is used today, it's because the clinician has there's a life-threatening concern. And so you absolutely have to get those diagnostic images. And you're going to follow your clinician. And so right now our technology works. We've proven that it's better. Radiologists are going to judge that it's better. There's no case where gadolinium is going to do better than our technology. But we're in the regulatory process now, right? And that is an interesting landscape, and we've been able to overcome obstacles. And so within the next 2 years, it will be approved. And there could be ways in which, advocacy can help move that forward. But, when you need a life-saving scan, this is sort of what your options are available. And, when ours is available to you, this is definitely going to be better for your health. But, you got to get those scans even now to save yourself from, and so it's going to be justified. And so when ours is available, then, we don't believe that gadolinium will be justified anymore to use because it's a heavy metal in your body. So much like lead paint was phased out, we hope we can phase that out soon.
I think that's incredible. And so for our listeners and our viewers who are exploring this and learning about this, how can they reach you? Where do you want them to follow you? Where can they go so that they can follow the journey and advocate for this to be brought to market so that we can advocate for our own health and move ourselves powerfully forward?
So yeah, absolutely. Please reach out to us on LinkedIn. We're very responsive. Our name is uncommon, so you can find, Valérie and Cody Garaguzlu. Reach out, so the website, we do have a contact form, sign up for our newsletter. We're developing videos that are going to be, very explanatory about what we do and why is it helpful. I do want to add one thing is that I think one of the first population we can help is people suffering from kidney disease. Those people are, contraindicated to gadolinium, and we really provide a safe alternative. Again, we're not on the market yet, but please stay tuned, reach out to us because this is really a population we want to serve. That cannot receive right now the enough care for the need.
Absolutely. I really like that you guys are bringing something that's solving a major problem and a major gap in the marketplace. We do have to take a brief break, but we will be right back after these messages.
These are the top 3 questions I get from people about investing in real estate. How much money do I need to get to the next level? How do I find good properties to invest in? Can I even make money in this business when interest rates are so high? I answer these questions and many more in my online course, SFR University, where I show you the strategy that I used to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business in 4 years from scratch. Whether you're just starting out or someone who's looking to scale, this course will have something for you. Join us at sfruniversity.com. See you in the course.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your CareWatch right now. Operators are standing by.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Welcome back to Vital Signs. If you're just now joining us, remember everything on this program is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to be construed as medical advice. As always contact your medical practitioners prior to integrating anything that you might see on this show. We are here with Valerie and Dr. Cody of Imaginostics. They have developed a revolutionary new safe contrast for MRI and an improved resolution opportunity in order for us to really be able to map out and see what's going on in our bodies. And so I want to dive right back in. I know that you're in the regulatory process, you're bringing this product to market, you're closing some gaps, and you're providing a safer alternative to what's out there currently. Once we are in market, what kind of patient population is this going to be most powerful for? And talk to me about what we're going to see from an early detection and an improved diagnostic process.
Yeah, so first I think we're going to see it, being most applicable for people who can't get gadolinium, and we're going to see it then be more pervasive in the sense that we can replace all gadolinium imaging. But being able to be an alternative to gadolinium imaging is such a tiny part of what the technology can do. And the power of our technology lies in the new data we get from those medical images. And, AI is such a huge buzzword right now, and rightly so. And what our technology really does, the power behind it, is the new data. So we found that our data can be used in, many different types of cases. So we've published about different work in animal models in diabetes, in Alzheimer's disease, in head injury. The technology really is as pervasive as medical imaging itself, and it's really going to be able to provide an additional layer of insight and even early detection of disease. And so we're actually funded right now by the National Institute on Aging, looking at the early detection of dementia in a population of patients with mild cognitive impairment. So this is a place, in dementia where you're only going to be able to find out about the disease after symptoms are there. No image is ever going to give you an early diagnosis. And so our goal is really to be able to provide that early insight. And we are developing this technology as a way as well to have targets, if your vascular physiology is going to tell about your disease, and if there's a drug that's going to come and help rescue your vasculature, it's going to come make your blood vessels, your small blood vessels, look like a healthy person's blood vessels, well, then that disease is going to be quite cured. And so it provides new targets or biomarkers for drug development as well. And so in a lot of ways, early detection is an incredible part of what our technology brings to market through that new data.
And I'll just, add one thing is that our mission has two folds. So really change the paradigm of care from curative to preventative. And this is a possible only because we have a safe contrast agent. As Cody said earlier, gadolinium presents a chronic toxicity aspect, so it's not suitable to preventative diagnostics. So really, we really want to empower people to get early on scans to detect disease early, even decades in advance, such as in the case of Alzheimer's disease. The second mission that we have is to accelerate novel drugs, to really help and support pharmaceutical companies that are developing novel treatments. So like we really like on the two fronts, like at Imaginostic, we're doing preventative diagnostic. We focus on the diagnostic piece, but we want to empower novel drugs, new treatments by servicing pharmaceutical companies.
And as we're able to do this, as we're able to establish new biomarkers, we're able to say, okay, well, this is what we see prior to what we are currently looking for. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, so for example, we measure the structure, the function, and the leakage of the blood vessels. Blood-brain barrier leakage is now known to be, with every single person who has mild cognitive impairment, for example, they'll have blood-brain barrier leakage. And this is perhaps not the root of the pathology in Alzheimer's, but it's an important point, an important biomarker, because when you have blood-brain barrier leakage, this is proteins from inside your blood vessels and waste are going to be able to leak into your brain and into the tissue, and this is going to exacerbate that process. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, if there are drugs that can heal blood-brain barrier leakage, well, then our technology is well poised to show, even at the individual level, how well that drug is working. And the function of your blood vessels is very important. So we can look at how well do those vessels dilate under, some kind of activity that requires more metabolism. And so we can look how fast do they dilate, how much do they dilate, do they go back to normal quickly? And so we can look at function. And again, the incredible advancement is that we can do this at the individual level, whereas previously with MRI, it's really such a qualitative technology that these measurements were only previously possible in large group studies. So you can have, 50 people who've been hit in the head and 50 people who haven't, and that can be useful for drug development, but it will never be useful for the individual person. And so this is really the transformation in precision medicine diagnostics that our technology provides.
And let me ask you another question, because and I know this is maybe getting a little bit more into the science, and that's not where we generally go, but there's a vast body of research out there that's already been conducted. Are we going to be able to then look through that and answer questions that maybe we didn't have access to prior to this level of technology?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, one of our papers, for example, we published with the APOE4 genetic modification in rat models, and so genetically modified murine models. We saw a very surprising finding. Early on in this disease process, we found that the blood vessels, there are actually more of them. And so we have an increase in the vascularity of the brain. And so we're discovering that how the brain actually changes in these chronic conditions that are really developing over a long period of time. And we know there are brain changes there. So now we're observing those changes, and it's able to explain the disease processes, and it's providing insight into the disease pathophysiology.
Yeah, and so for my viewers and my listeners, what basically we're getting to is we're going to be able to see what happens before what we traditionally know as a disease process. We're going to be able to map the entire generation and maybe interrupt it before it becomes a full-blown chronic disease process. We can actually prevent, and in some cases completely prevent or maybe slow the development of diseases as we're able to have better information and really understand what treatments are doing for us. If a treatment's not working, we'll be able to know sooner and be able to shift that so that we can have an improved possibility and an improved possible outcome. So one more question before we conclude to commercial, and that's, what is the most important thing for us to do to advocate to help bring this to market as consumers?
And I'll say, just follow us, make some noise with us, like share our videos. If you're watching this TV show, please share it with your friends, with your family. Share, because right now we're still small. No, not a lot of people know about the technology, and all the the effort we have with the company is to touch the maximum of people. to bring it to patients. We really want everyone to know about it as we work on it and we work towards commercialization. This is a deep tech. It takes about 15 years usually from an innovation to come from the lab and go to the bedside at hospitals. And we've been working on it for Cory in this case, because he's a scientific founder, for over 12 years. So help us, to get there, because 15 years, as you can imagine, we've been working tirelessly on it, but we need your support. We need your energy as well, and share the video, share the information, and reach out and post on TikTok, on Instagram, inform people and your loved ones.
And one more question. I know you guys are always fundraising so that you can do this better, faster, you can raise awareness. If people are watching or listening and are interested in investing or helping you in this process from a financial standpoint, how can they get in touch with you? How can they get that ball rolling so that they can learn a little bit more and support you on this journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you can reach us at, Cody@imaginostics.com, Valerie@imaginostics.com. You can use our web form on the website. We're most active on LinkedIn, so you can follow us on LinkedIn. You can follow Imaginostics on LinkedIn. You can send us messages on LinkedIn. And we're absolutely, it takes a village, if not a city, to bring a technology to market. And most of our investors have been angel investors, many of them clinicians. In this current fundraising round, we've had checks anywhere from $25K to $500K. So, it's the kind of thing where, we certainly could use a community behind us. And if you want to be a part of that, absolutely, come talk to us.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your expertise. Thank you for enlightening us on what's coming down the pipes, because it's very exciting as we talk about a lot on this show, shifting from, sort of treating the symptoms to let's get to the root cause and actually cure and prevent from the get-go. It is so vitally important. I really appreciate your expertise and everything that you have brought to us today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, and it was really a pleasure to be your guest.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We do have to take a brief break, but before we do, reach out to Valerie and Dr. Cody. Go to Imaginostics.com, learn and educate yourself, because it is us who are responsible for advocating for our own health, for advocating for the changes of the future. And that's really how we redefine healthcare, how we reimagine what it's going to look like, and we take agency and control over our own health and well-being. We will be right back after these messages.
These are the top 3 questions I get from people about investing in real estate. How much money do I need to get to the next level? How do I find good properties to invest in? Can I even make money in this business when interest rates are so high? I answer these questions and many more in my online course, SFR University, where I show you the strategy that I used to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business in 4 years from scratch. Whether you're just starting out or someone who's looking to scale, this course will have something for you. Join us at sfruniversity.com. See you in the course.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your CareWatch right now. Operators are standing by.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Welcome back to Vital Signs. If you're just tuning in, you're going to want to go to nowmedia.tv. Click on shows, go to Vital Signs and catch the first part of the show because we have been dropping all kinds of gems, ways for us to really up-level our health, our peak performance, and our human vitality. We're going to shift gears now because I have our resident in molecular medicine. Our expert in molecular medicine is here again. Dr. Nathan is going to be sharing with us what is the canary in the coal mine behind metabolic dysfunction and disease, and how can we take action and prevent it. Thank you for coming and joining us again today. Tell me all the things.
All right, thanks, Jen. Yeah, the canary in the coal mine. Cardiovascular disease remains the #1 killer of men and women worldwide. And we know the first sign and symptom of onset and progression of cardiovascular disease is sexual dysfunction, erectile dysfunction. And it's not just a male disease. This occurs in male and female. And we call this a canary in the coal mine because when you lose the ability to produce nitric oxide in the blood vessels of the sex organs, this isn't just isolated to that particular vascular bed. It's a systemic disease. So if you're unable to dilate the blood vessels in the sex organs, you've lost the ability to dilate the blood vessels in the heart, the brain, the liver. So now that's a systemic disease, and we call that endothelial dysfunction. And so really what we're talking about here is the inability to produce nitric oxide, which is a main vasodilator that opens up the blood vessels, allows for the increase in blood flow, allows for the engorgement, and in both men and women. So a penile erection or a clitoral erection, and that's what's necessary and sufficient for sexual function. And so today we know that 50% of the men over the age of 40 self-report erectile dysfunction. And that's self-reporting, so I think the numbers are much higher because most men aren't going to self-report. And then, in women's health, it's a huge issue too. Women become anorgasmic, sex becomes uncomfortable, and they can't enjoy it. So what we have to do is focus on the restoration of nitric oxide production, improve endothelial function, improve vasodilation, so that the body and the organs can perform as they're intended to.
So I'm just going to ask the question because I know it's going to come up. And that's, we have been told, and I'm going to take it from the women's standpoint, we've been told after 40, that's just to be expected. It's normal aging. So what you're saying is we can actually do something about this and reverse this. That is not something to be expected after the age of 40, that we're going to have sexual dysfunction or decline in that area.
No, that's exactly right. So if you look at the data, kind of broad, kind of population-based studies, on average, by the time we're 40 years old, we've lost about 50% of our nitric oxide production. So that's what leads to these age-related problems. And I think it's the age of 40 that people start to feel the effects of aging. Right? We don't perform as well as we did in the bedroom, the athletic field, or even in the boardroom. We lose some of our mental strength and our cognition. And all of that is related to a loss of regulation of blood flow, secondary to a loss of nitric oxide production. So, you know, today we have 60, 70-year-old people who are fully sexually functional, right? And then we've got 20, 25-year-old kids who have severe erectile dysfunction. So what we now know today and what the science tells us is that on average there's this age-related decline, but we can actually prevent this age-related decline in nitric oxide production and prolong, you know, sexual health, prolong our biological health, and extend our own age. But more importantly, not about extending age, but in extending our health span.
And, you know, health span is something that we've talked about on the show before, because so many times we look at, oh, we're going to live to a long life, but what good is it if we don't have quality of life? That's what he's talking about, folks. Health span is about being healthy as we age and having that quality of life. And so as we have this, if we're already in this area where we've lost this ability or we're having dysfunction, can it be reversed?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we know people with severe coronary artery disease completely reverse the disease by change in diet. We know people with full diabetes can completely reverse the disease by changes in diet and lifestyle. So it's the same with nitric oxide. We have to stop doing what's disrupting normal nitric oxide production and then start doing the things that are clinically proven to promote it. So what we found that inhibits nitric oxide production is destroying the oral microbiome, so fluoride in your toothpaste, using antiseptic mouthwash. Then the other major contributor to nitric oxide deficiency are antacids. And specifically, these are what we call proton pump inhibitors. Things like Prilosec, Prevacid, Nexium, omeprazole, pantoprazole. There's prescription, there's over-the-counter versions. But what we're finding is that these drugs completely suppress the body's ability to make nitric oxide. We see an increase in blood pressure, 40% increase in Alzheimer's, increased risk of heart attack, stroke, and that's all can be explained by the suppression of nitric oxide production. So we got to stop doing the things that disrupt it and then start doing the things that promote it. We got to exercise, 20, 30 minutes a day or 2 to 3 minutes at a time, several times a day. Throw in some more green leafy vegetables. Remove sugar from your diet. Sugar glycates the enzyme or sticks to the enzyme that makes nitric oxide, destroys the microbiome. Avoid gummies and chews. There are a lot of companies out there trying to sell you nutrients in gummies or chews. Completely shuts down nitric oxide production. So it's really common sense strategies that we can promote nitric oxide production and completely reverse and regress disease.
And so I'm here. I just heard something that I haven't heard today, or I haven't heard in a while, and that's don't do the gummies. What happens if, and I'm just going to throw this out here because we as a culture have gone to and shifted towards supplementation. Yeah. And now we're learning that the supplements that we're using are actually causing a different problem because they're maybe gummies or chews. Like, how do we shift that habit, especially if it's our children or something along those lines, or maybe we don't swallow pills or what have you? How do we shift that habit?
Well, obviously we advocate getting your nutrients directly from food, but again, we've addressed the problem that most of the food we eat is deficient in basic nutrients, so we must have to supplement. So I always advocate, a clean powder in a capsule, but putting nutrients in a sugar matrix of a gummy or gel. The last thing Americans eat is more sugar. And we know that it causes, acidity in the saliva that completely changes the microbiome, increases caries and gingivitis and periodontal disease. So we have to support the oral microbiome. Let's not destroy it. And sugar and gummies and chews completely destroy it. And the other thing is we're finding that it actually inactivates the nutrients. So sugar sticks to these nutrients and basically renders them completely inactive.
Okay, folks, so you heard it here. Don't be doing the gummies because it's rendering that nutrition inactive anyway. We do know. We've talked about bioavailability as well. And let me ask you another question, because something that's been really popular lately has been the nano sprays and those. Do those impact the oral microbiome?
There's a lot we've learned in the science over the past 20 years, but there's still a lot we don't know. So here's what we do know. anything that's labeled as antiseptic, whether it's chlorhexidine prescription mouthwash or it's the alcohol-based mouthwash, destroys the bacteria. So it indiscriminately, it kills the bad guys, but it also kills the good guys. But there are a lot of things that we don't know. We don't know what, certain essential oils or certain, more homeopathic type remedies. We just don't have any data on that, so we can't comment. But if it says antiseptic, believe it. When you see the commercial that says this kills 99.99% of the bacteria, believe it, because it does, and that's not a good thing, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next question I have for you, because we are a nation that has turned towards homeopathy and some of these other things, and they're not regulated in the same way. The research may or may not be sound science. And so as consumers, talk to my viewers and listeners about how can we understand whether a research study is actually sound science. Like how do we sift through the garbage that's out there from something that actually is maybe double blind, peer reviewed, or more sound data?
Well, look, it's a huge challenge, even for the medical professionals in the scientific community to read published literature. The data are the data, right? That's the beauty of science. We can look at data, we can analyze data. The data typically don't lie, but it's the interpretation of the data. And a lot of scientists and clinicians misinterpret their own data. And so that's why you have to look through kind of a skilled eye and be able to really interpret that data. What does it mean? How does it translate into clinical practice? But I think what I encourage people to do is figure out what works, because what works for you may not work for me. We have different metabolisms, we have different underlying conditions, we have different genetics. So if you find something that works, stick with what works. If you're doing things and you're not getting better, then let's start eliminating some things and start doing things that may have a little bit more science behind it.
So you heard it here. It's really, we have biodiversity. You're addressing biodiversity. And for example, a diet that works for me might not work for you. It might be something different for somebody else. What we do know is that if you're not improving, that something needs to change. And so you suggest elimination first. I'm a big fan of elimination diets myself, because a lot of times we have stuff that we're eating that is not right for us.
That's right. Our body doesn't agree with it.
Yeah, exactly. And so if they're listening at home or would like to learn more about how can I become a more informed consumer, how can I shift this and really educate myself and get myself back on the path of peak human performance and vitality, health span, how can they reach out to you to learn more?
First, turn your TV off. Don't believe the commercials. And, Big Pharma and a lot of companies are paying big money to, and really the advertising dollars are spent on things that they have to push on consumers, right? And so, trust the science, trust those that do the science. But, I try to, unwrap this from a very technical, scientific, medical perspective into a language that's usable, that's practical, and you can employ in your daily life. So I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Nathan S. Bryan Nitric Oxide. I do a monthly blog on my educational website, drnathansbryan.com. I'm searchable by most search engines, so you can look me up and follow our Instagram, social media. You can look at my published clinical trials on PubMed. But if you search, you can find.
Thank you so much for your expertise.
Thank you.
And you heard him. You heard the man. Stop doing things that are not working. Really educate yourself. Turn off the TV. Don't buy something because you heard it on ads. We've all heard all the disclaimers. This might make you bleed from your eyeballs, et cetera, in the fine print. Please be informed and reach out to Dr. Nathan if you have questions, because he really is doing the work. He has the sound science, and he's passionate about public health and making this happen for you. So we do have to take a brief break, but we will be right back after these messages.
These are the top 3 questions I get from people about investing in real estate. How much money do I need to get to the next level? How do I find good properties to invest in? Can I even make money in this business when interest rates are so high? I answer these questions and many more in my online course, SFR University, where I show you the strategy that I used to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business in 4 years from scratch. Whether you're just starting out or someone who's looking to scale, this course will have something for you. Join us at sfruniversity.com. See you in the course.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your CareWatch right now. Operators are standing by.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Welcome back to Vital Signs. We are going to shift gears just a little bit today. I am here with Ryan Stofko, and Ryan is an expert in human biology and sleep ethology. He really has a lot of expertise to bring to us. And today we're going to talk a little bit about personal health routines. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Thank you for having me, Jen.
I'm so excited about this. We were talking in the break a little bit about how your expertise plays into human performance. And so let me ask you, what are the daily health routines that you personally follow to stay energized and focused in your day?
Well, first and foremost, the behavior that I prioritize as a sleep ethologist is sleep performance. So everything that I do starts with an appreciation for sleep performance, with a perspective on healthy aging and accident prevention. So maintaining a sleep schedule that prioritizes sleep hygiene, but then also living a lifestyle that tries to minimize my stressors, but also that allows me to build in coping mechanisms for when times do get tough, That's what I prioritize. That's what I focus on when interacting with my clients.
So let me ask you, because everybody's going to ask this question. It's okay, that's great. That sounds lovely. What happens when I'm a busy mom or I wake up in the middle of the night with 30 million things on my mind and I can't get back to sleep? What would be your advice? What is the thing that we could do today that can help us with our sleep performance?
So for me, when I was in medical school, that's the type of environment that I can kind of parallel and make sense out of to the single mother or single father scenario that you just presented. I was a terrible sleeper. I was getting 3-4 hours a night, but I had to cram a ton of information into my brain and make sense out of it. So, one of the things that I learned when I was in medical school is there's different meditation techniques to control our stress and our anxiety. One of those in particular that I bring to the table with my clients is something called neurofeedback. If you've never heard of neurofeedback, there's a lot of different modalities that exist. Some train with visual entrainment, others use auditory entrainment. I prioritize auditory neurofeedback. And so for myself, what I do every day is I take a siesta. I make sure that I have 90 minutes where I'm doing auditory neurofeedback or machine guided meditation, where all I'm focused on is trying to play back the day that I just experienced, but then also looking forward to my week in front of me, and then trying to make sure that I'm balanced and I have everything prepared for the upcoming week. So meditation and building that into my lifestyle was huge for that. But then when you're in the now and you're dealing with stressful situations, like for example, a single mother, it's very important to have strategies in place for when things get chaotic. If you're living in a household and you don't have, for example, a silent sound space, that's a room that I create with my clients, you might be setting yourself up for failure. And let me just explain a little bit what I mean by the silent sound space. So the silent sound space is one room that at any point in time, if somebody walks into it, they're in total peace. That's supposed to be a room where if there's an argument in the house and someone walks in that direction, argument stops. And I guess coming back to baseline and coming back to a way of processing peace is very important in that scenario. So making sure you have a silent sound space is very important for the single mother, the single father, or any family system.
Thank you for sharing that. And so one of the things that I'm hearing loud and clear, because we love action steps on this show, is to find your way to building in a habit. Maybe it's a meditation, maybe it's a silent sleep space. If you'd like to learn more, definitely you're going to want to reach out to Ryan. So talk to me a little bit about how your health habits have evolved as your career has progressed, because obviously we've learned more, research has evolved, there's so many more technologies available to us. How have your habits progressed as time has gone on?
Actually, that's a great question. So one of the things that I had to deal with when I first started my small business, OPP NeuroSpa, is I was going to have people coming to me wanting to use the QEEG technology, which is a detailed profiling tool. And at that point, I had to figure out who I wanted to specialize, what type of client I wanted to specialize in. So originally I was focused on sports medicine, but then I realized that only, professional athletes would be the target market, and everybody needs stress relief or stress management built into their daily lives. So one of the things that I realized at that point is I had to expand, and I had to start looking for other partners and resources that could help people given whatever situation is presented to them. So for me, I was thrown into the fire. I thought I had great stress techniques and everything to deal with everything that was presenting with me. But then I started listening to others. And when you start to learn the stresses that other people perceive, that adds another layer of stress that most people on my side of the interaction never really braced themselves for when getting into their career path. So as I've evolved as a business owner, I've had to keep an innovative mind because my brain works in a very unique way. And I realize that every brain is very unique. And so if you come up with a solution that's kind of like a mold and you're focused on building everybody towards that mold, you might actually negatively impact certain clients. So at this point, I'm somebody who prioritizes sleep in everything that I do. I make sure that I have certain solutions when, chaos peaks in my life, but I'm always open to learn more techniques and more skills that might be a benefit to my future clients.
I liken it to a toolbox, right? It's how many tools do we have in the toolbox? Because every human being, we know biodiversity exists. We know everybody is different. Our brains are different. Our bodies are different. How we respond to things are different. And so I really like that you're continually learning. What I hear is you're continually learning everything there is to learn, so that you have more tools in the toolbox, because we never know, even in our lives, when something different hits the fan, we might need a different tool than what we've always been accustomed to. So let me ask you, you've had this evolution, you've learned a lot along the way as you've kind of changed what you do professionally as well as in your own life. What is the most significant change that you made to your lifestyle for better health?
Ooh, that's a very good question. So the first thing that I did was I removed myself from medical education. And I know that sounds crazy, but truthfully, if I was going to continue performing at the level, physiologically speaking, that I was when I was in medical school, I was going to go into burnout. And who knows where that would spiral secondary. So choosing to remove myself from a very competitive field, which truthfully, when you get into medical education politics, there's some question marks there in terms of how things are done, but not going to go there at this point. So that was my greatest pivot for my health and well-being, and it allows me to bring certain lessons that I learned along that way, which that's not an easy path to take, just to be fair. I can bring those lessons to other people who are innovative and trying to troubleshoot certain things in their life.
And I know that you're working a lot with caregivers, and burnout is a very big concern in medicine. In fact, it's one of the key reasons why I left sports medicine myself. That was one of the pivots that I had in my life. And so if you're listening and you're watching this, you may not be in medicine and that might not be you, but there may be some environmental factors. It might be your career, it might be something, it might be people in your life. But if you notice that things are sucking you dry or that are having that negative impact, I think perhaps a great action step for everyone today, and I'd love your thoughts on this, Ryan, is do an inventory of your life and find what those stressors may be and how can I pivot away from that or mitigate those, because not always are stressors things that we can actually change immediately, but there's something that we can plan for and have a pivot such as yourself. What are your thoughts to that?
Oh, I completely agree. That's actually what I do with my clients. So one of the things that's unique, I come out and I have a really cool, website that pitches peak performance. And sometimes that's received in one of two different directions. Sometimes people look at me and they think that I have this extreme ego. And it's because I'm pitching the content matter of peak performance, and you have to be somewhat judgmental, and that's how you have to operate. Truthfully, the tools that I offer are all self-assessment technologies. So me as a human being, I'm not judging my clients in any way, shape, or form. I'm more so the data analyst that knows how to make sense out of these tools, and then communicate to somebody who might not have the data analytic background that I have or the basic science background that I have, to make sense out of the data reports that I provide. And the data reports that I provide are very detailed.
And so if our viewers or our listeners would be interested in learning a little bit more about what you do, about diving into this for themselves, how can they reach out to you?
So they can go to my website, which is ryanstavko.com, or they can just give me a call. My phone number is on that contact information list. I prefer that you give me a call, actually. My website is structured in a way to where I don't want people sending me emails. It's structured to actually give me a call. So my phone number, like I said, is on that contact list. It's 216-978-9389. And I want to be very direct. When you give me a call, the first thing I'm going to offer you is a 90-minute discovery session. It's completely free. There are no obligations or commitments at all during that time period. It's purely a time for you to see the technology that I offer and then ask any questions you need.
Thank you so much for bringing your expertise and your tips today. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Jen.
And you, yes, you, it is time. Unfortunately, all good things do come to an end, including this show. But the good news is we will be back same time, same station next week. So until then, have an amazing day.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone Low Cost Airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked.
An inspiring story about survival.